What's up guys? It's Skylar here, and today I'm going to be coming at you with a super authentic video. No jump cuts, no edits, none of that. It's just going to be me talking to the camera for as long as I feel like it. And as you could have seen by the title of this video is going to be the entire blueprint from start to finish on how I built and scaled to now $120,000 a month through my content automation agency and the scaling process. So to start out with, I know the question of the hour, the question that probably a lot of people are going to have is, what is content automation scaling? And it's a good question because realistically, I would call myself the one who coined this term. There are other people, I'm sure, who call it so many different things, but realistically, as someone who is doing this very publicly and at scale, I think content automation agency, content automation scaling, those are really the kind of terms that encompass what exactly this is. And in short, all it is taking a viral creator or any type of creator on social media for that matter, and just repurposing their content across a bunch of accounts on a bunch of platforms. And it's kind of similar or familiar for a lot of people in the context of clipping, which a lot of streamers do and a lot of content creators do, but it's not exactly the same because in this instance, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you don't have to heavily edit these videos. You're literally just taking creative videos that creators have already made and posted that have gone viral or performed well, and you're just reposting those exact same videos with very, very minuscule edits. So to break down exactly how it works from start to finish, basically all you do is you contact a bunch of creators, you do this cold outreach, lead generation, and eventually you find someone who's interested in doing something like this. In my case, all of my marketing services are retainer based. I am charging my creators month by month because they see the value in it and they know exactly how it works. And also, I do want to preface that I charge all of my creators that I work with 3 months up front, 3-month bundles, and that will never change because when I first started my agency, I was doing month to month. I was starting with 1-month retainers, and the biggest issue that we'd face is just that a lot of these accounts and a lot of these creators wouldn't blow up in the first month. They wouldn't blow up all of their accounts in the first month, or they wouldn't see a return on their investment in the first month. And the easiest way to combat something like that is just to increase the retainer length. And in this case, doing 3 months was the perfect sweet spot because by the 3-month mark, you will see the difference in your revenue. And in this case, I'm working primarily with OnlyFans models, so when they're giving me a unique tracking link, they're able to see exactly how much money I'm making them, exactly how much unique revenue is coming through that link. So by month 3, they're seeing a surge, and they know that all of that is coming from me because they can track exactly where it's coming from. So in my case, when I'm doing outreach, I'm always pitching 3-month bundles with the option to renew month to month after that 3rd month. And the keyword is after because we are never offering month to month from scratch. So I'll have bundles that range anywhere from $2,500 for those first 3 months, so about $833 per month, all the way up to tens of thousands of dollars for those first 3 months. So some creators are working with me and paying $5,000 plus per month. And I would say when you're starting your own agency, it makes sense to be somewhere in between those numbers, kind of, with a base potential of maybe $700 or $800 a month, and your biggest retainer maybe looking at $2,000 to $3,000 a month. You don't want to overkill it, you don't want to make it too complex. Your retainers should look super simple. And in my case, mine are incredibly simple. For my Instagram Reels automation system, I literally just have 2 pricing structures. For my Threads automation, I have 4 different pricing structures, and for my Twitter automation system, I only have 1 price, and it's the one price fits all. So, like I said, you really don't want to overcomplicate it. So let's get back to it. You do your outreach to the creators, you pitch them on these packages, and the next part, assume you close them on a package. In this case, all of my packages are priced per platform and per number of accounts. So let's say they close on my Instagram Reels platform bundle, and they're wanting to try 5 accounts with me. Now 5 accounts on Instagram Reels for 3 months will be $2,500. That's the starting retainer rate. So basically, once I've sold them on this, then comes the fulfillment side. All that you have to do as the agency is ask them for a Google Drive full of their content. Maybe they only have 30 or 40 videos to start with. That's not a big issue. All they need is 30 or 40 videos to get started with. They can always add more later. But the important part is that you get that content drive immediately. Once you have the content drive, you're also going to need some type of unique tracking link. If you're working with OnlyFans creators, that's super easy. If you're working with entrepreneurs, let's say, who sell some type of info product, then you're just going to want them to send you over some type of tracking link that enables them to see exactly what is coming from your marketing source. And that'll be super crucial down the line when people are deciding if they want to renew with you, because they have to see if you made an objective difference and if they are being more profitable with your service or if they're losing money with your service. So it really does enable you to at least retain clients long term if you are providing a good, reliable service for them. So the next part, after you have acquired the tracking link and the Google Drive, all that you need to do then is get the accounts. And in this case, notice how I said get the accounts and not create the accounts, because this is crucial. You're going to want to find a supplier who sells aged Instagram accounts. In this case, I have plenty of suppliers. All of my students who are in my coaching program, which you can check out in the description below if you're trying to learn more about this and work one-on-one personally with me and help me allow you to scale to the $10,000 to $15,000 per month mark, then that's something you should check out. But anyways, all my students are offered all of my account suppliers for every single platform, but basically these suppliers sell fresh aged accounts that enable you to start posting on the account and heating it up, and there's no chance that it's going to get banned for spam or artificial bans or anything of that nature. So basically, once you have these accounts, you create all the accounts, you set them up with the creator's name in them to some variation or something that kind of encompasses whatever you're posting about. And so then you'll put their name on it, their profile picture on it, the link in the bio, and some type of creative bio that makes it look like a real account. And so in this case, then comes the easy part. You're just posting every day. You're posting their content. And the only thing that you really have to do is change the metadata on these videos every time you're posting and make little tiny tweaks or edits to the videos so that they aren't caught as identical content to something that's already been posted before. You're really not reinventing the wheel. This is the easiest industry to get into. There is no type of entry barrier. There's no type of skill kind of barrier that you need in order to get started. You really don't need any type of technical experience, money up front, or anything. All you have to do is start on a single iPhone. In this case, I started on one of my iPhones and I managed to scale up to 70 clients across my entire agency now, to where I'm netting personally $120,000 in the last month. So I really don't want any of this process to sound discouraging to you, especially if you don't have experience or any of that, because you don't need experience. All you're doing is posting on social media accounts, and you're not doing any type of complex editing or any of that. You're really just posting the exact same thing that's already been posted before. And so then people come to me and they're like, well, why haven't other people done this? Of course other people have done this. I'm sure there are plenty of people doing this, but a lot of people never manage to get to the scale I'm at. And I'm gonna explain why, because it really comes down to a few different things. First and foremost being that people don't have the understanding of how exactly to prevent these accounts from being reach limited. And to explain what reach limiting is, basically, it means that the account, for some reason, the content that's being posted on the account is unable to go viral. And this could be for a variety of reasons. It could be for the fact that you're using the same Wi-Fi network for all the phones that you're posting on or all the accounts that you're posting on. It could be that you're using the same phone for all these accounts, that you're using the same content without making any types of tweaks or edits. There's so many different reasons why these accounts don't blow up. And again, I go through this in thorough detail and make sure that all my students are aware of all this stuff. But I will break down what I can here, and that is mostly just that you need to be ultra conscientious when you're creating these accounts, not to have too much overlap in certain things. One being your Wi-Fi network. I tell all of my students personally to stay off of Wi-Fi completely. Get prepaid SIM cards, get a prepaid AT&T plan, and basically just use an individual SIM card for each phone that you're running. And that honestly just prevents a lot of your issues. In a lot of cases, you won't need to use a VPN, you won't need to use proxies or any little tools like that that are gonna help you basically trick the system. Just using a cell plan versus Wi-Fi in and of itself will make an astronomical difference. And so then comes the next part. No, you don't want 100 Instagram accounts on the same phone. We have dozens and dozens of different phones that have all of these different Instagram, Threads, Twitter accounts on them, all of that. I recommend using no more than 10 accounts per phone per platform. No more than 10 Instagram accounts on one phone, 10 Twitter accounts on that phone, 10 Threads accounts on that phone. And a lot of times we'll go even as low as 5 because I don't think it's necessary to go up to 10 every time. And the more accounts you have on a single phone, the higher risk it is that Instagram or whatever platform you're using just figures out that you are using that many accounts on the same phone, and they could ban all of those accounts for whatever reason. So that's kind of the best advice I can give in a short manner about just protecting yourself in those ways and making sure that you are being smarter than the platform's automated systems are. But at the end of the day, if you take the right precautions and you take the right steps, and you consult with someone like me or just reach out to me, ask me questions, and I'm happy to answer, then in that case you'll have a lot more success when you're going about scaling your agency down the line. And so then the next question you might have is, oh my God, if I have to post 3 times a day per account on 10 accounts per model, like how do I ever scale this? And that's a super valid question. I don't blame you for having that concern. I mean, look at me, I have 70 models now. I could never do that all on my own. That would take 20 million hours out of every single day. I don't have the time in the day. I know you don't. So let's get to how exactly you would go about that. In my case, it's pretty much maximizing what you can do yourself until you can no longer do it yourself. Now, everyone treats it differently. In my case, I'm a guy that likes to do sales, and I tell everyone who's starting their own agency, you want to separate your sales and fulfillment. At the start, obviously, you are going to be a one-man team, at least most of the time, unless you're working with someone else. But if you are a one-man team, in that case, you are going to have to be your sales and fulfillment front, which is not the end of the world. Just as soon as possible, once you are at the point where you need to scale, separate your sales and fulfillment. If you want to be the sales end of your operation, find someone else who can handle the posting, or find a small team that you can continue to build out gradually to encompass the entire fulfillment end of what you're doing. You don't want to be both, because at the end of the day, if you hire some kids to do sales and you're also having them do fulfillment, they care more about the sales. I'm sure they're getting some type of commission or kickback, so they're going to put their primary focus into sales. They care less about the fulfillment and the back end of it because they're making money on the front end. So you want to make sure that there's this separation of powers in there, and that there are equal interests in each of those fields, because at the end of the day, when you are building one of these agencies, there are 3 pillars, and it's going to be client acquisition, fulfillment, and scaling. And without all 3 of those pillars performing simultaneously, your agency will fail, you will not be able to scale, and if you are able to scale, you will be scaling against yourself, because as you're acquiring new clients, you're going to be losing your old clients because you're not fulfilling it right. So you need to make sure that you are super diligent about that and that you are managing your clients correctly. And so guys, I really hope that this is a thorough but also concise guide on how you can do this yourself. And I do encourage you to reach out to me. I'm going to link my Instagram in the description below, and I'm so happy to answer any other questions you guys have. But I really do want to emphasize the change that this has had in my life. First of all, not only the money that it's making, but just the freedom in my life. I do virtually no work towards this every single day. The majority of my work just comes down to my investments and other stuff that I'm doing behind the scenes. This content automation agency could run itself month to month with probably 80% plus retention rates with all of my existing clients. And that's amazing. Being able to retain 80% of your clients month to month. I mean, I think the one last thing that I have to say in terms of anything is just the ability to scale will be so dependent on your ability to build relationships with people. And in this case, I mean, I guess in the context of my own operation, I only like working with clients who have the ability to bring me more clients. And what I mean by that is, in the context of OnlyFans girls, agencies are key. I only want to work with agencies 99% of the time, because I recognize that agencies are the ones with 10 models, 20 models at their disposal. So if they test a single model with me and she performs well in the content automation game, and we're basically able to show results for her and show that she's profitable, then what's to stop them from bringing on another 10 or 15 models? And I think that's the beauty of it. I would rather have one point of communication with this agency instead of 15 different points of communication with individual models where it's taking up my entire day. And fortunately, I've gotten to the point where probably 4 or 5 of my major clients encompass 80% of my business. And I think that that's so crucial, because it limits the amount of customer service and TLC that I have to do every day with my business, and it allows it to virtually run itself. And these clients are people I've been working with for years. They're rotating new models in here constantly, and that's the reason that my operation is able to scale so successfully. So at the end of the day, the one thing that I leave you with advice-wise is just to emphasize a focus on your client relationships. You should care about the way that your clients perceive you and your business, and that they are happy with everything that you are doing for them, and that they are always going to be satisfied at the end of the day. You don't want to leave your clients with a bad taste in their mouth. And even if they do stop working with you, you want to know that they had a positive experience working with you, because who knows, down the line someone might ask them if they had a good experience working with you, and you'd love to hear a word of good referral towards yourself. So without further ado, guys, 15 minutes long. I'm trying not to keep it too long, but I did want to give as much of a blueprint breakdown as I could for exactly how you run these content automation agencies. And like I said, I am doing one-on-one coaching. I do this on a very small scale, only with 5 people at a time. I only have 3 people on board right now, and I'd love to take 2 more people at the start of this next month. So if you guys are interested, if you want to scale your agency a hell of a lot quicker, I know that obviously you could do this thing on your own, and I'm sure you could troubleshoot it to the end of the earth, but there are a lot of small little technical things that would definitely help your operation, and these are things that I've learned over the last couple years doing it myself. So if you do want that extra handheld one-on-one guidance, and you want to scale to that 10 to 15K a month mark in the next few months, I would love to help you personally, and I'm willing to guarantee that I will land you your first 3 clients when you're working with me. If you don't do that in the first couple months, I will continue to work with you until you do, sorry. But yeah, without further ado, guys, leave a subscribe below if you liked the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.